welcome to this massive mystery horror thriller book haul. Oh god, okay. Ooh, there's a lot, so let's get into it. These are not in any particular order, so I'm just gonna take one off the top, and that would be You've Lost a Lot of Blood by Larocca. I don't know too much about this. It is, I'm pretty sure, considered a novella. Oh no, it's a little over 200 pages, like 208 pages. And the back, real quick, short and sweet, it says, "Each precious thing I show you in this book is a holy relic from the night we both perished. The night when I combed you from my hair and watered the moon with your blood. You've lost a lot of blood." Now tell me that isn't something fierce. I've seen his work a lot on YouTube and I really wanted to pick it up, and I actually am trading this for a different book that I have for my TBR for October. I was just looking for stuff that had 6 words and I found this and his other book, We Can Never Leave This Place. So we have a girl, her father dies violently, and eventually her mom brings in another man into their life, and she's all like, excuse me, but her mom's all like, he will protect us, sweetie. I guess things aren't gonna be as they seem, because this is a grotesque and thrilling dark fantasy that is a harrowing portrait of inherited grief and familial trauma. So, that's gonna be rough. Then actually, let's get to a gift. So my bestie Evie actually got this for my birthday, and this is The Daughter of Dr. Moreau by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I'm a big fan of Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Apparently this is a retelling, but I don't know. So I'm excited to kind of look into it. And it looks like we have a couple of players in here. So we've got the daughter, who I guess is questioning what's going on with her father's work. We have a overseer that I guess is an alcoholic, assists her father with his experiments, and then we have the hybrids, which is whatever it is that the father is creating. It says that it's a dazzling historical novel and daring science fiction journey, and it is marked as horror on Goodreads at least. So I imagine whatever it is her father is doing is gonna be creepy. So excited to check it out. Then next up we have White is for Witching, and I don't know much about this, but when I was looking for haunted houses stories, this popped up on a list. So I'm super excited to jump into it because I need traditional, spooky, supernatural haunted house stories in my life, and if this is what this is, I'm gonna be a happy girl. So it says that this house has been home to several generations of this family and it doesn't let them go, so I'm assuming that when they die they stick to the house. And then after a sudden death of a mother, this woman ends up at the house, but she starts to go mad. So it's all like she starts eating chalk and hearing voices, and apparently she starts to disappear, and her brother and best friend are like, what's going on? Maybe. So they have to look into the house to figure out what's happening and maybe save her. I don't know, but I'm excited. Okay, speaking of haunted house stories, this one seems like another kind of haunted house situation. It does sound like there is a good amount of political intrigue happening as well, because it says that this is happening during the overthrow of the Mexican government. And this woman, her father was executed, her home destroyed, and she needs to basically find sanctuary. So she decides to accept the proposal of a specific guy who has some rumors about his previous wife and his possible involvement in her disappearance or whatever, because she's all like, I need security. I need something to keep me safe since I've lost everything. But obviously that place is not the sanctuary she was hoping for, and stuff starts happening. Like there's people that are avoiding the house, like the cooks and the help are like, no hunty, because there's something wrong with his house. And I think it might be haunted. Just maybe. I don't know. I guess I'll have to read and find out. Then we have When the Reckoning Comes. This one's hard to describe, but basically we have a friend group, we have a small town, we have a plantation with a spooky history and, you know, haunted by the ghosts of slaves. We have some sort of event that got somebody accused of murder, and then we have many years later them all coming back to this location, specifically to the spooky plantation for one of the girls' weddings. And during all of this, they're going to have to confront some things with their past, and it's going to be spooky, scary, questionable. I'm interested. Then we have one that I do know how to talk about. Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bastrika. And this is a story about a world where some sort of like parasite or issue ends up happening and kind of getting to all of the animals in the world, pretty much making them poisonous to humans. So we are no longer able to eat animal meat. And being the sick, twisted humans that we are, we decide to go to the next best thing, which is human meat. So we start farming humans to eat. And apparently we are following somebody who works at one of these factories, even though he doesn't agree with the practice of eating human meat. So we're going to be experiencing some pretty dark and twisted stuff with him, and I'd be lying if I said I was excited, but I am interested. Everybody seems to say it's good, so we'll see. Next up, we have As the Wicked Watch by Tamron Hall, and this I believe is, we have a crime reporter who leaves her hometown to take on this job. It talks about her being like strong, aggressive, not shy in any way, and is often the only woman of color in a newsroom. It does seem like even though she has a lot of experience, nothing could prepare her for a story that kind of sticks with her about a 15-year-old girl whose body was found abandoned in a lot. I guess it wasn't solved, and there seems to be some sort of serial killer involved, and so she ends up investigating, or ends up kind of in the middle of it to try and figure out what's going on. So I like detective-y type stories, so I think this will be a fun one. Then we have my first pre-ordered book, and that is The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is a Carrie retelling. I don't know how much it differs. The original Carrie story is about a girl who is severely bullied, and at some point she has enough, and with some like telekinesis powers that she has within her, she kind of fights back and gets revenge. I'm assuming this will probably have a similar take to it, and I'm interested in seeing the reimagining and exactly what goes down. And then the next pre-order that I ended up getting is House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson, and this is about a woman who basically signs up for a job in a like ritzy part of the town or whatever, where she will be like a bloodletter. She will let her employers basically drink from her. Pretty sure it's a vampire story, and things happen. Oh, how exciting. Everybody must be on their toes to figure out what's going on in this one. My description is amazing. So it sounds like one of them takes a liking to her, and she's all like, yay, I'm gonna impress her. Then she finds out that this place has some dark, twisted secrets that she was not expecting. So then we have Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is actually the second book in the series. The first one, we have a high school girl who, for one of her papers or something like that, she decides to reinvestigate I think it's like a missing girl case in her small hometown. She ends up investigating the whole situation. I actually surprisingly enjoyed the first book, even though it is a YA mystery, and it definitely has some of those tropes within it. It was still interesting, and I'm excited to see if the rest of the series is the same. Okay, then we have Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris, and this is about a couple that was going on vacation, and they ended up stopping off at like a rest stop. The guy goes in. When he comes out, his girl's gone. And so apparently there might be something a little bit more to that, but like many years later, him and her sister kind of bond over their grief of this missing loved one. But he is kind of questioning some things about the sister, and then out of nowhere somebody calls him and is all like, hey, I think I just saw your missing girlfriend. And he starts finding things and stuff starts popping up, and he's trying to figure out what's going on and why things are happening. Sounds interesting. Then we have Reprieve by James Han Madison, and apparently a murder happens in some sort of escape room, I believe. And because there's all of these theatrics, people don't necessarily realize what's going on until much later. And most of the story, as far as I can tell, takes place within the courtroom as they're trying to figure out what happened and who done it, and they're going over the accounts of that night from the different people that were involved. So we're interested in finding out what's happened. I hear it's slow and it's very courtroom heavy. I don't mind courtroom heavy things, I think. So I think I'll be okay with it, but we'll see. I know that has been a turnoff for some people because they thought it was going to be more in the escape room, which I think would have been cool, but maybe it's still going to be enjoyable, hopefully. Okay, next up we have Nana by Brandon Massey, and this is a story about a woman who I think she recently has had a kid or is struggling with her responsibilities, and her family need a little bit of help, and out of nowhere her mom kind of comes in and is like, I'm gonna help you, sis. And she's feeling good about it, but it seems like even though now she has this extra help, she's getting tired. Her mom seems to be getting younger. There may or may not be a relationship that is had between her mom and her boo thing. So like some crazy stuff happens, and I'm pretty sure her mom is the source behind it. So yeah, apparently there's some freaky times with grandma. So beware if you pick this up. But yeah, it's sounds interesting. It's by a Black author, which I'm definitely down for more horror by BIPOC creators. And yeah. And then next up, and forgive the sticker, I try to get things on sale as much as possible, but I have And Now She's Gone by Rachel Housel Hall. This is another story by a Black author, or by a POC author, which I'm really excited about. And this one, it says, Isabel Lincoln is gone, but is she missing? So we have a detective, I suppose. Grayson Skies is trying to find her, but they're a little bit reluctant to track down a woman who may not want to be found. And things get complicated and dangerous as they find more and more things out about Isabel's secrets and the truth that she's been hiding from her friends and family. So it's two complicated women, so I guess Grayson Sykes, not Skies. And it's a cat and mouse game between these two characters. So I'm excited about that. Sounds like it'll be a fun time. Then we have Bunny by Mona Awad. How do I describe this? So basically, this is a story about a group of girls called the Bunnies at this school, and our main character, who both resents and also secretly wants to be a part of the group. And at some point, she kind of gets sucked into the group and some weird things start to happen. This is kind of a bizarre, weird fever dream of a story. Yeah. Then next up, I think I saw this on somebody else's TBR, possibly Jordaline, but maybe somebody else. And this is The Long Shadows of October by Christopher Triana. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have not been having the best luck with horror books written by men lately, so there's a good chance that I'm gonna try and quickly read this soon within the return window, just in case there's anything crazy about it, because not gonna lie, I'm scared. Not in the good way. Seems like we've got two characters, Joe and Danny, house sitting a big manor, and they don't realize that they aren't alone in this house. Ghosts, succubus, witches, somebody is in there, and this place is basically a prison for souls. Then we have another character who basically gets brought into the mansion during a party, and strange things start happening. People go missing, mysterious dogs appears, there's boys changing, it sounds like it's gonna be a crazy time. I hope there's no problems with it. It seems like there isn't, but like, we'll see. We will see. I will let you know. Next up, we have All Her Little Secrets by Wanda M. Morris. This is another book by a POC author. In this one, we have our main character, Elise, who basically has it all. She went to a really good school, she has a high-paying job, she has great friends, and she has a just-for-fun relationship with this rich, successful guy. And everything is basically just going her way. That is, until the tables turns when she comes into work one day and finds her just-for-fun boyfriend dead with a gunshot wound to his head, and she's like, no, I'm not gonna be a part of this. I have a questionable background. Yeah, I'm not gonna get in trouble for this. So she just and just leaves, right? Now, while this whole investigation is underway, people are gossiping, things are happening, and she ends up getting promoted into his position, which should be a dream come true. But while there, she starts uncovering some dark secrets. And considering she's the only Black woman at the company, I imagine it's not gonna be a fun time. But no, I'm very interested in seeing how this goes. I'm imagining we're gonna learn some stuff about her past. Somehow things are gonna be connected. I don't know, but I'm interested. Then next up, we have My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. And this is a story about a girl who is basically obsessed with slasher films, like super obsessed. And one day when something kind of goes down in her small town, she starts thinking, is a slasher here in my town? This one is another one that I have read for a video that will probably come out pretty soon. And there are some really fun elements in here. For instance, our main character, in between the story, we get these basically papers that she's done for school about slasher. It's her analytical thought process behind slashers and why she loves them and why they're amazing, or, you know, how they function or what kind of elements you can find in it. And there's something just like really fascinating by that. That's this one. Next up, we have Dracula by Bram Stoker. I'm not gonna say too much about this. This is a classic. Everybody knows or sort of knows what Dracula is about. I believe there is a man who has basically been hired by Dracula to buy him some sort of estate in London, and when Dracula comes, things start happening, like weird things start happening, and he starts questioning how much of this relates to the mysterious Dracula. And I believe he becomes like a vampire hunter of some sort. I think we're following it all in his perspective. I don't know. I have never read it, and I really wanted to remedy that in the very near future. So stay tuned, because hopefully we're gonna have a fun time with this and a couple of other books. If you're a bestie, you probably already have an idea of what I'm talking about, because you know. Okay, next up we have Small Angels by Lauren Owen, and this one is supposed to be another spooky story. Sounds like the main premise is there's some spooky woods, some crazy thing happened, so people decide they're gonna get married next to these spooky woods many years later, and people coming back start experiencing some shit. So, I don't know. So it sounds like it's gonna be a good time. A little nervous about how many like people or voices we might have, but I don't know. Stuff like this is fun, so hopefully I end up enjoying it. I forgot 2 books, so I also ended up getting Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. This is a story about a couple who has been struggling with their marriage. One of them suffers from face blindness. He can't really remember people by the way they look, which is crazy to me. And after winning a vacation to, I think, Scotland or something, they think this is going to be the trip that either makes or breaks their marriage. But it turns out that they didn't win this trip on accident. Somebody is lying, some things are happening, not everybody wants them to have a happy ending, and some stuff goes down. So I've heard good things about this. I'm interested in seeing if it really is up to the hype. And then next up, a new release that I ended up getting from my book of the month is Sign Here by Claudia Lux. This is supposed to be a like silly, fun horror story. We have our main character, Peyote Trip, who works on the 5th floor of hell, pretty happy with his job, but not everything is that great. Fortunately, he has a plan, and all he needs is another member of a specific family to sell him their soul. And one day when that family decides to go on a vacation trip and brings a friend along, he sees his opportunity and he works with his friend Calamity to help him achieve his goal. But of course, things aren't always as they seem on Earth or in hell, so I guess we'll just have to see how things go down. This sounds so cute and fun and silly, and I'm super excited to read it. Right now, the parts that we're learning about are very funny. Yeah, and now back to the video. And that's it. Ugh. And these are the books. It's a lot. Ugh. Even get all of these. Oh God. We can do it. Ugh. So yeah, here are all of the books that I have purchased. A lot of these are actually by POC authors. These, I believe, are all by white authors. And the rest are all by POC authors, because if you guys don't know, I'm trying to balance out my shelves. But yeah, those are the books. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like wait. Smash that like button. Subscribe, like, comment, do all of that good stuff. Give me some spooky emojis down below. 3 spooky emojis that you think of while going through these books, and let me know, have you read any of these, and are you excited about any? Because I did just get a couple of new releases that I know I'm super hyped about, so I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Why am I like this? Okay, yes, and I will catch you in the next video. Until next time, be amazing, be wonderful, love yourself, happy readings, all of that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Wow, okay, until then, bye! It's a good, it's a good, it's a good.